Welcome to Handsome Her.
I think it's fair if you think about
Refuse to pay it.
I could wear that.
Say the gender tax isn't aimed at excluding people.
I'm done dating, man. I really am. Do y'all see what they said on the news today? 56% of women have a backup plan. 56% of women have a backup plan. And it was either that old friend or your guy friend, which y'all always say is just a friend, and then you end up being with the friend. They researched, studied this. I literally watched it today. They did a test, a psychology test. Some of them are already happily married, but they still have a backup plan. Why, bro? Why? 21, bro. Wallah. I'm staying single. I'm shopping at Target. I'm not hollering at any girls, bro. I'm done.
And just because of this, not only him, but a majority of men have decided to not even entertain women anymore, because the effort required to get a relationship in today's day and age is absolutely not worth it.
Now, in the wake of my feminist awakening,
Buckle up.
my default position is that I don't care about men's feelings.
Oh, what a novel idea. I don't think we've ever heard that before on the internet. And what brought about this great epiphany?
I don't care about men's feelings. And that is a position that is a place I had to arrive at after a lot of self-work.
Go on.
Because the patriarchy...
Of course, the patriarchy, the source of all known evil in the entire world. Now do tell us, what has the bad patriarchy done this time?
The patriarchy socializes women not only to care deeply about men's feelings, but to prioritize those feelings over and above our own health, our own well-being, our own mental and emotional stability.
No, it doesn't. I'm really starting to believe that a lot of these individuals out there that have tried to blame everything that has ever gone wrong on society, not to mention what has gone wrong with their own lives, on that nefarious patriarchy, may have unfortunately not been given the skills necessary to be able to navigate society as an adult, in which a person needs to understand that if you don't take care of yourself first, you can't take care of anyone else.
What a big surprise. A woman saying that she doesn't care about men's feelings anymore, when most of them never cared about it in the first place. So I suggest, you go girl, but don't expect men to line up for you when you are lonely and bitter as hell.
A cafe in Melbourne is protesting the gender pay gap like we've never seen before. 1 week out of every month, men pay an 18% premium. The cafe, called Handsome Her, also has priority seating for women.
Welcome to Handsome Her, where women reign supreme.
of dames, so it's a wall of inspirational women.
Sandra O'Brien calls it a space for women by women, with priority seating for females and an extra tax for men.
We have an 18% premium for men, which is the same amount as the gender pay gap. I think it's fair if you think about the world, the gender inequality that we have.
I think it's a brilliant idea because I don't think that many people know the actual...
Just imagine a cafe next to this shithouse charging women an extra premium on their bill, just because they are women, and the worst part is that the media is praising them instead of doing what's right.
But so far, none of the cafe's male customers refuse to pay it.
I could wear that, considering that there is a fair, it's a fairly unequal pay gap between men. It's a fairly unequal pay gap between men and women, even though there is supposedly equal pay. It doesn't really equate out there.
Staff say the gender tax isn't aimed at excluding people, but rather educating them, with proceeds going to...
She isn't excluding anyone. She is only charging men more because of their gender, and all the male customers who haven't challenged them are afraid of the consequences that will happen if they did actually refuse.
Remember this?
If your husband is a good guy, but you're ready for divorce, you're not a bad person.
She describes herself as a divorce recovery coach for moms, whatever that is. And understandably, she made that video because, well, she's trying to drum up business. And what better way to do so than by making moms feel good about leaving their husbands? And that's perfectly fine. But apparently she's not too happy with some of the responses she's getting from the husbands.
Men are losing their mind over a recent video that I made.
So a man taking a few moments to express his opinion on the matter is losing his mind?
Your spouse doesn't have to be abusive in order for your feelings of wanting to leave to be valid.
Actually, I don't have a problem with this. I actually agree with her. No one should be in a marriage that they are not happy in. But
there are dozens of reasons why marriages fall apart.
Okay, let's hear some of those reasons, but let's also keep in mind her business is a divorce recovery coach. So without a divorce happening, she can't make money.
Here are some examples. Financial problems.
Financial problems. Well, pretty much every marriage experiences financial problems at some point. So the first step to do, file for divorce.
Growing apart. Communication.
Both of those issues are common in every marriage at some point. Heck, in every relationship, no matter what kind it is, at some point. So the first solution, file for divorce.
Addiction. Too much arguing.
Again, I agree. Those are valid reasons. However, shouldn't the first solution be trying to find a way to work through them?
Lack of emotional or physical intimacy.
Yes. Lack of physical intimacy. You know, the one where if he's not interested, it's his fault. And if she's not interested, it's also his fault.
One spouse just isn't carrying their weight in the marriage.
The infamous, he's not carrying his weight. He's a good guy, but he's just not doing enough. So, divorce him.
Maybe you married too young or for the wrong reasons.
Again, these could be valid reasons, but I ask you this. Shouldn't those have been obvious before you got married?
Those are all very common reasons for divorce, and it doesn't make you or your spouse a bad person.
Now, I hear you, and I might agree with you except for one thing. You see, if a man used any of those as a reason for walking away from his marriage, he would be immediately vilified and accused of abandoning his family. Now, let's be clear. I'm not trying to be mean to her or throw any ill will or shade at her. I just simply want to point out that she makes her living by coaching women who have been divorced. And we need to keep that in mind when she's encouraging said women to leave, by her own word, good men for what are problems that every marriage has at some point or another. And that is why men, well, to use her term, are losing their minds. Because men know that women, they're abandoning their marriages at the first sign of trouble rather than trying to work it out. So explain to me again why the hell men should get married anymore? Just saying.
She and many other people like her, who are hell-bent on brainwashing women into leaving their marriages and breaking their homes, is the primary reason why men shouldn't get married anymore.
Google the richest women in the world, like where they got their money from. It's rough. It's rough out there, guys. They ain't starting businesses. They're marrying dummies. It's almost all of it is divorce. Feminists do not want to hear this. But there was one woman who was the richest woman ever from a startup company, Elizabeth Holmes. She ran a company called Theranos. She started it herself, dropped out of college to start this company, and it was a total fraud. It was all fraudulent. She's going to jail forever. She was worth $34 billion at one point. It was a blood testing company. They falsified all sorts of data, and they lied to investors and all sorts of... She used to dress like Steve Jobs. She wore a black turtleneck and everything, and I saw her speak once.